This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
All indication right now, it appears that it was an attempt suicide.
Amtrak maintains no evidence of foul play in a mysterious incident leaving a 22-year-old passenger in a coma. How they've come to this conclusion for now tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. I'm Landon Miller. Kristen Remington has the night off, and thank you for joining us. On May 15th, Aaron Salazar was found unconscious near Amtrak train tracks in Truckee. His family has since demanded answers from Amtrak police about the details surrounding the case. Today, the Amtrak chief of police spoke publicly for the first time about this case. And Elizabeth Olvera joins us now live at the Truckee Police Department where the presser was held. And Liz, they're saying no crime.
Yeah, Landon, at this point, investigators say there's no evidence to indicate that anything like a hate crime or an attack on the Portland State student ever happened. Instead, they believe he might have fell or jumped off of the train. And that's something the family has disagreed with from the start.
There's no physical evidence or witnesses' statements to a physical altercation occurring on the train.
Amtrak says Salazar's train arrived at Truckee Station around 9:30 that Tuesday morning, but Salazar never made it there. Instead, a foreman working along the tracks did happen to see an open window on the coach train around 9:27 that morning, but didn't immediately report it. Salazar was found by another worker shortly after 11 that morning, laying about 4 feet from the tracks, about 4 miles east of Truckee, in a very remote area. Inspection later did find a window on the lower level of the train where there are nothing but restrooms. According to Amtrak, it was opened. Now, those windows are only supposed to be used by crew members and in emergency situations, but the officers say, unfortunately, passengers have opened them in the past. They're located about midway on the normal train doors used to enter and exit, and officials say an alarm does not sound when they open. Now, after interviewing several passengers who talked with Salazar, Amtrak says he was allegedly, quote, distraught and going through some issues, but wouldn't elaborate any further. Amtrak did manage to find and interview the friend that Salazar told his grandma he met on the train.
He also, just as consistent with all the other people we talked to that had contact with him, that he was having a lot of issues with just life-changing issues and stuff.
Now, Salazar's family has repeatedly refuted he would do something like this, describing him as happy, family-oriented, and responsible. They're especially concerned about those burns on his groin area, questioning how an injury like that could stem from a fall or a jump. But Amtrak says they believe they know how those happened, but also wouldn't elaborate any further on that. Unfortunately, there were no cameras around that might have caught what happened, but Amtrak says they're continuing their investigation with additional interviews, and they will keep us updated on that. A bit of good news, though, according to Salazar's family, he was taken off of his ventilator and is breathing on his own at this point. Covering the big story live, Elizabeth Olvera, Channel 2 News.